Hi, Shawn Porter, FightHype.com here with the WBO super featherweight champion of the world, Mr. Jamel Herring. Jamel, man, I know Shakur's been trying to intimidate and get under your skin, but it seems like it's almost had the opposite effect. Like you have this confidence to you about this matchup. Why is that?
The Shakur's credit, ever since the press conference, at least, everything's been kind of quiet. So, everything's been cool. So I'm not gonna sit there and say otherwise. But for overall, I don't really, my personality, but now I don't really fit into a lot of the stuff. I just be, just be me and just do me and focus on me for the most part. But it's nothing personal. Even like I said, he even said it's not personal. It's not like we got like we're the worst of enemies or got bad blood. So. Like I said, because we have seen Shakur say worse about
Right.
past opponents, so that's why I don't look into it like anything crazy because he's just competitive, and that's how I look at it.
What's your confidence level and certainty at this stage versus before you were world champion when you go against a guy at this level?
My team. 'Cause overall, since I've been with my team, I knew as of late, they never steered me wrong. Ever since I got with Brian McIntyre, Red Spikes, Esau Diego's, Jimmy Bell in the gang. We've been on a good streak and a good path. They got me to the world title, so that's what I really focus on. I don't really focus on too much of the what people try to say or the antics or people try to get under my skin, because I just listen to my team and we just go from there.
What can you recall about the sparring you two have had, and how that'll factor?
We only sparred that's back in 2017, and we only sparred like twice. It wasn't it wasn't in that no intense sparring. We were just working. Like I said, then I was with my old trainer Mike Stafford at the time. I was only in town for Bud for the Ndongo fight, so I just finished sparring with Bud, and then Shakur and them came in, and I worked a few rounds with Shakur, and it wasn't nothing crazy. Nothing like where we was jaw jacking and anything like that. No, it was just work. Feel me? But like I said, that was when he was coming out the Olympics also around that time also. I think he was just turning pro around that time. I can't remember, but like I said, he was early in his career, and I was with a different team. So I know we're both two different individuals now.
With the way you boxed so well against Frampton on the outside, had him coming to you and just picking him off. You feel like this could be similar because Shakur, is going to be better than Frampton.
Right.
But he's a shorter guy with short arms, so he may have to get inside.
I always give Shakur his credit, no matter what people may think of how we are now. Shakur is a really good fighter, and I don't dwell so much on the past, even my own past. So I'm not really looking at the Frampton fight, because like I say, he's a totally different fighter from Frampton. But like I said again, I just believe in my team, and we we're working on a game plan, and you just got to be smart. Especially, and like I always said to myself, you got to be alert at all times with him. Especially with a guy like him, especially young and hungry, and he wants something that I have. And then there's more that I want to achieve at this stage. So we both have to be on our
Who
best.
Who is hungrier, you think? You still match the hunger of that?
Yeah, because there's still a lot of great fights to be made. This is a big fight, of course, in the division, but there's still a lot of great things to achieve within this weight class alone. So, I can't really sit there and say it's hunger. I know we're fighting for different means, but that doesn't mean that my hunger is maybe bigger than his or vice versa. You feel what I'm saying? So that's what I mean. It's a big fight for the both of us.
Do you think that again, with him being shorter though, that he's going to be the guy that'll come forward more in this fight, and you can take advantage of that?
I don't know. I think it's one of those things where we have to see what he brings out, because like I said, he can box also. He's boxed taller guys before. He's outboxed them. So you never, so I can't sit there and say if I know if he's going to be the aggressor or if he's going to be defensive. You know what I mean? But all I can say is that we got to basically go off what we're given at the time. And like I said, we've been working on multiple different game plans, of course, because like I said, he has a lot of dimensions to his arsenal. But like I said, I can't really call it. I really can't, man. Like I said, it'd be less nerve-wracking if you really can pinpoint one style. Some fighters, they just either a brawler or a pressure fighter, but nah, you can't put that on them.
Come on, man. You were a lightweight at one time, 135. You got that grown man strength. You're gonna be a stronger fighter on Fight Night. Do you
Oh
feel-
yeah, I feel that. I feel that. You know, I feel I'm definitely bigger, stronger, especially when I'm working alongside my strength coach, Jamel. We've been doing a lot of different things. Like every camp, we come with something different, or we work on something different. Like with Frampton, we was more focused on being more explosive. You know what I mean? This camp, we did a little something different for this camp. We focused in different areas, but definitely we worked a lot on core strength and things of that nature.
And Jamel, that fight, you were way up ahead, and the headbutt happened, called it a night. But when people looked at that and they questioned the dog, if Shakur's thinking he has, take advantage of that, like
Right.
he has more dog, and the people who think he'll win the fight, what's your response to that, Jamel?
I really don't have no response to that. You know what I mean? Like,
You don't feel the need to
nah,
defend yourself?
like I said,
Well, tell them why they're wrong,
I got cut in the Okenda fight, and everybody had their opinion on that. And then I got basically cut again with the Frampton fight, but it was a totally different version of myself in that fight. Because like I said, with the Okenda fight, I was going through like what, Jamie, we were training like 6 months. We were training like 6 months for that. I had COVID in between. Then then we went back to camp. Then I tested positive again with COVID, so it was just a lot on my body. Then I was still fighting the whatever you want to call it. The pandemic. And it was just a lot going on. But like I made no excuses. Like even with the Frampton fight, people call me everything in the book and say whatever. You see me, I didn't make no excuses. I didn't lash out or complain about anything. I just took it all as fuel. Just like now, I take everything just as fuel and motivation, and I just went in the gym and I let the work speak for itself. Even in the Frampton fight, they said people say it's probably the best performance of my career.
It was,
and it's like I'm getting better with say with age or whatever, however you want to put it. But like that's what I mean. That's just how I am. I just take all the negativity and I use it as fuel, and I just go from there.
you think you have to walk through hell, like they said, like Corrales did for Castillo?
I think I've done that throughout my whole career, so it's nothing new. I never take anything from anyone else's with their own career, but like I said, I've been the underdog.
Got your hat.
You know what I'm saying? Greg can tell you that. I was the underdog in majority of my big fights anyway, but like I look at careers like
It's gonna be a great fight, right, man?
Absolutely, it's gonna be a classic.
I look at careers like the great Winky Wright, you know what I mean? Like you see what he had to go through to get his foot in the door, opportunity, and he's probably one of the best to ever do it now when you look back on his career. So that's why I don't really complain, because there's been fighters that's been through worse, you know what I mean? Like everyone knows my story and what I've been through, but like in terms of like recognition, I really don't complain or envy anyone else. Like I said, if they consider him the next big thing, all respect to him for that.
Is he the next big thing?
I think he can be the next future star. You know what I mean? But I just feel like right now it's at least it's still my time. But definitely, it's like I said, I never take anything from him. I would never downplay him or what he's done. It's just not me. I call it for what it is, but I feel like I still got a lot to prove in myself. So I just go from there.
Great comparison, Winky Wright, man, because didn't get that stardom till his mid-30s. Southpaw, lost a couple fights before he could become champion. I see what you're saying, Jamel.
And Winky, even before like the comparisons, I've always been a fan, just watching his growth until like. When he got there, he took advantage of it, and he never took it for granted. Some guys, they get to the top, and then they start falling, slipping off because they forgot what it took to get there. You feel me? But like for me, it's like, every day is a blessing. Like I'm just appreciative that I can still get up here, in my mid-30s and still perform at a high level. You know what I mean? A lot of guys, you see them usually, fluttering, out of the game. But for me, let me say, I'm happy. I'm good. Like I still train hard. I still have that hunger and motivation. You know what I mean? I'm not satisfied. And that's just me.
And lastly on this fight, Jamel, a lot of people expect it to be tactical. Do you think it'll be more violent than a lot of experts and fans are expecting?
Maybe so. I know. Like I said,
would you like that? That benefits you more?
I mean, I think it benefits the people. You know what I mean? I mean, the people will love it. But like, I feel like, what I'm saying, like I seen the criticism that he took in his last fight, and again, I wasn't the one to jump on the bandwagon and and that's just not me. But like, what I'm going with that is, sometimes you have a chip on your shoulder. Because I've been there. You have a chip on your shoulder. Sometimes you might bring a different dynamic. So he may bring a you know what I'm saying, in a more aggressive approach because of how he was criticized from his last fight, whatever. So, but I don't know. I can't call it. But that's just something like, you know, that this is why I don't overlook anyone or always look too far on their, like, you know, the last performances. If anything, we always look at everyone's best performances, because you always got to expect the best version of your opponent. If you sit there and expect, you know, the lackluster or the weakest performance or whatever you want to call it, or the losses or whatever that match, sometimes you get surprised. You know what I mean? Because, like, for instance, when I fought Frampton, they kept looking at this fight, and they wasn't looking at all my great qualities. They was looking at, saying I struggle with weight, I'm a quitter, and yada yada yada, this, that, and the third. But they wasn't looking behind it. I was hungry, you know what I mean? And you see how I came out and how that fight. So that's why I don't really look into the negativity of what others say about, you know, even guys that I'm facing. They can sit there and say, you know, oh yeah, he's this, that, and third. But I take my own opinion and views, and I try to look for the best characteristics in that. And that way, when I get into that fight, I'm prepared for anything that's coming at me.
What do you feel, lastly, on this that people will be saying after?
I think that people say it was a great fight. I think they'll be surprised yet again with the way how I perform and conduct myself. That's just me. You know what I'm not. You know, I'd rather be considered underrated than overrated than everything. That's all I would say. You know, that's my thing. So I don't, like I said, I don't really, like, even now, I don't care if people side with him or choose. It's your opinion. I mean, everyone wasn't a Kobe or Michael Jordan fan, you know what I mean? So, like, everyone has their own cup of tea, is what I'm trying to say. So you're not always gonna, you know, grasp or present. All I can do is go out there, fight my ass off, and continue working.